Hi Leo. This is a reading for the sign of Leo, my rising sign. So when Leo is the sign that I resonate most with of my top three. So I love you guys. This is actually my second reading that I'm doing for Leo. The first one that I did the reading in the extended, but I'm not uploading it to YouTube. I put it on Vimeo, and you can get it in the links down in the description box if you're interested in seeing it. It was a really, really intense reading, so it might trigger a lot of people. It was very specific to loss and abandonment. So that's what I decided to do. I decided to go ahead and put that on Vimeo, and if you're so inclined, then the links to access that reading are down below. But I wanted to go ahead and do a different reading and hopefully get a message that's for a larger group of people, because I think that one was probably pretty specific, and it was hard. It had me crying at one point in the reading. So at any rate, this is my second time reading for you guys. As far as the way that I read energy, there is just a brief paragraph down below that will kind of give you an idea. When you hear the description, this king or this queen or whatever it is that I'm pulling, whatever card it is, that doesn't necessarily mean that that's a man or a woman. It's just the energy that they're embracing concerning the situation. We all have masculine and feminine energies that we work with all the time. Masculine energies help us get things done, help us create stability. Feminine energies help us to teach and to nurture. So we all have them. So if you hear king, queen, just pay attention more to the energy that they're embracing and the actions that they're taking than to what their title is, and kind of figure out who's who in the reading. Also, this can be roles can be flipped here. So as I say Leo, it might actually be your partner. It could also be a family member, a friend, a coworker, a boss, a neighbor, you name it. Whatever the situation is that it's talking about, you know who you are in the story. So just don't be afraid to flip the energy. Energy is fluid when we read, so there you go. I lay out oracle cards. I pull oracle cards before I begin filming, just because it makes the reading shorter. It gets too long if I try to pull all the oracle cards. Well, if I try to pull all the energy oracles during the reading. So I've already got them pulled out. The archetype card that came out for Leo is the Unseen. And the Unseen is basically a knowing without confirmation yet. So a lot of you, there's a lot of spirituality that's coming up here. So a lot of you may be experiencing just a feeling that something is coming your way, that things are changing, that things are shifting, and you might not necessarily know what yet, but you just feel kind of change in the air. And there definitely is an end to a cycle here that I'm seeing. Whatever is the end of this cycle, it was this karmic cycle. By karmic, I mean it was intended to teach you. So if it seemed harsh, or if it seemed unfair or sad or hard or whatever, try to find the lesson in whatever it was, because there was one there that you needed to learn. And if you don't find the lesson there, then the universe will do what it always does, and it will repeat the lesson for you. So if you'd like to move on in your life, why don't you take a chance, take time to reassess, heal, find the lessons there that you need to learn before you move forward. If you do that, got the full in reverse. Yeah, you don't want to do that. You're being stubborn. Leo, don't do that. Don't do that. And without even the full in reverse coming out, there is definitely a feeling here of whatever's trying to end, whatever cycle is trying to end, you're pushing back on. You don't want that ending to happen. And you need to surrender to it. A lot of you may be pushing back on the end of that cycle or whatever, the end of a relationship, the end of a job, the end of living somewhere, you know, maybe you're moving, the end of whatever it is, this end to this chapter in your life. You're not wanting to let go, perhaps because you're feeling secure about what comes next, or if whatever comes next, you know, will even be anything that's good. But it is time for a change. There's also a need here to release the feeling of being a victim to the situation. Very rarely are we ever actual victims to anything. It's more a situation where it's a lesson. You know, you're in this situation so you can learn something. So really, if you are finding yourself in that poor me victim mentality over whatever the situation is, try really hard to release that feeling and replace it instead with, this was the lesson that I needed to learn. What's the lesson so I don't have to repeat it? If you can do those things, I'm seeing a lot of spiritual enlightenment coming in and going towards a spiritual contract, something that's fated for you. There is a ton of sacral energy here. If you are familiar with your chakras, then you know that that is it's your sacral chakra is a few inches beneath your navel. Most people associate it with sexuality, which it absolutely is, but it's also related to your creativity, to passion. So if this involves another person, this might be somebody that you're very, very sexually attracted to. But also someone that ignites your creativity, that ignites passion in you, that you might not have felt in a while. And there's also a need here to work on or acknowledge your throat chakra, and as it pertains to communication and talking. Definitely a spiritual contract here that you need to be aware of, something that you're moving into. There's also a need for forgiveness here. That could be a forgiveness for people you know, involved in this situation, other situations. It could be forgiveness for yourself too. But definitely a need to let go of this wanting to hold on to something that's over, surrendering to it. When you do this new path that you're going to go down, it's going to be more than you imagined. It's going to be better than you imagined, more than you imagined, and there's love there, I think. So let's go ahead and get into your reading, Leo. Can you please show me how Leo is feeling currently? How's Leo feeling? How's Leo feeling currently? The Hermit. This is Virgo energy. Right now you might be taking time to go within, time to be reflective, which is exactly what we talked about, so that's actually great. Taking time to reflect on what's just happened, taking time to heal. The Hermit is not only a philosopher, he's also a doctor. So you may be taking that time to heal emotionally over the situation that just happened, and that is exactly what you should be doing. So that's very nice. What is the situation for this reading for Leo, please? What's the situation? The situation may have involved harsh judgments made by yourself, made by others that you are leaving behind. Again, picking up on the end of a relationship. And you're wanting to move forward quickly. You're wanting to move forward quickly towards a new relationship, I think. Yeah. Be careful about that. Be careful with that. Be sure that you're ready before you engage with somebody else, before you make any offers to anyone else, because I think you think you're ready. Maybe you are, I don't know. Just be sure you are before you do. So, what is the situation, please, for Leo that we need to be aware of? Yeah, very introspective right now, Leo. Very, ooh. Okay, the situation. We've got the Lovers and the Two of Swords in reverse. So this is Leo, the Lovers is Gemini energy, my sun's sign. And then Two of Swords is Libra moon. My moon sign. I'm going to stop talking about me, but I just thought that was really funny that this all came up. At any rate, Two of Swords is something that's been blocked. It being in reverse, it's no longer blocked. So this may be something that it might be a person that you previously had blocked, and now you're ready to speak to them. It may be somebody that blocked you, and now they're ready to speak to you. It may be, if it's not about a relationship with another person, it could be about just something that you're passionate about that you have been ignoring or put on the back burner that's coming back up to the surface for you, that you want to engage in again. Yeah. I like this energy of this situation, however it pertains to, and we'll find out more as we continue reading, but I like it. It feels good. Feels good. I like it. I like it. What's the obstacle right now? You know what? Let's ask. If this is a love relationship, if this is a love relationship for Leo, who is their person of interest? Show us the energy of their person of interest, please. Oh, Page of Swords in reverse. So this is air energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I pick up a couple of different feelings off of this. One, it could be just a liar. So whoever you're interested in maybe lying to you, Leo. But it's also, Page of Swords when it's upright is 100% my stalker card. Somebody that's stalking somebody on social media, you know, hopefully not driving by their house and in their bushes being a weirdo like that. But someone that is gathering information, watching. A stalker doesn't necessarily have to be mad. It's just somebody that's kind of watching the situation, seeing what's going on, seeing if that person is who they say they are. So with the Page of Swords being upside down, like I said, it could be a liar, because Page of Swords upright can also be truthful communication, but upside down it would be not truthful communication. It might be somebody coming out of that energy also of collecting information and waiting and either no longer caring or ready to communicate. So it's funny that we have those Two of Swords in reverse and now this Page of Swords in reverse too. So let's see, what is the obstacle for Leo, please? Leo. So we have communication, passionate communication about two queens on board. Page of Wands is someone, well, one will start with pages always speak. So this page is talking. I think this page of swords, or pardon me, this page of wands is, pages, well, I start with, pages always speak, but they're also, they can be immature energies. They can also be student energies to where they're learning. But they always talk. And the page of wands, he's very passionate. And he's coming to give a message to two different queens. We've got the Queen of Cups, who is very emotional, very focused, very loving, very nurturing. Although that she can get into that victim mentality that we talked about earlier sometimes, that poor me. But she's very, very loving, very caring towards the people in her life that matter to her. The Queen of Wands is, I'm going to step back to the Queen of Cups. She is Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy. The Queen of Wands is fire energy, so she's going to be Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. I always see her mostly as Leo, as us. The Queen of Wands is very self-assured. She's very beautiful. She's, you know, if you take the Empress out of the equation, the Queen of Wands is probably the most beautiful of all of the queens, duh, right? She's very intuitive, she's very passionate, she's very self-assured, she's very confident. She is a flirt too. She can be a big flirt. The energy that I'm picking up, the difference between these two, queens that I'm picking up right now is this Queen of Cups is more in a poor me, victim sort of mentality. She's feeling sorry for herself in the situation, whatever the situation is, however it's coming out. And this Queen of Wands is getting this message, which I don't think is probably a message that either of them wants to hear. But I think she's like, oh, okay, anyways, next. Not to say that she's emotionless about the situation, but she's not going to become like this queen. She's not going to get all in her emos about it. It's not going to take her down. She's just like more of a, oh, okay, and is going to take it in stride and move on. Queen of Wands has lots of options. So, you know, while she's very loving, very passionate, she can keep it moving real quick too. So I want to do a little further clarification on this though. I want to find out what this page is talking about here. So I'm using the Kipper deck to clarify on this. But can you please tell us what this page of Wands is telling these two queens about? He's telling them about a bad marriage. So there's, we've got bad health, which only occasionally has to do with actual physical health. It's usually about emotional health for me. And then marriage. And so for the two of them to come out together, when I asked that question, you know, what is he talking about? He's talking about a bad marriage. He's telling one of these queens might be his wife. This doesn't necessarily need to be a marriage either. It could be a relationship. It could just be, you know, a committed relationship that's not going well. And one of these queens is involved in that relationship. my guess is that it's that Queen of Cups. So if you are the Queen of Cups, that Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy, and that doesn't mean you have to be any of those signs. You can just be embodying the energy of those signs too, which is just very emotional, very focused on that one thing, not seeing other. You know, if you look at the two of them, this Queen of Cups is just very focused on this one thing. She's got that energy of, no, I just wanted that thing, whatever that thing is. I just wanted that. That's all I see. That's the only thing that'll make me happy. So that's all I can focus on. And if you look at the Queen of Wands, she's like, well, let me see what else is out there. I love us. What energy is going to be used to overcome this? And Leo, if you're this little Page of Wands, I don't know what you've been doing, or it feels like what's happened is that there's already an established relationship that's either ending or come to an end, or it's in that trickle down part, or whatever's happening, and that this Page, this, I don't know, I mean, he hasn't showed himself as the king yet, but that this masculine energy has probably already either started a relationship with this Queen of Wands, and the Queen of Wands was unaware that this lingering energy from a relationship was there, or perhaps that they're even still married. Hopefully that's not the case. That better not be the case. And, you know, perhaps he's either having to end the relationship with the Queen of Cups and tell the Queen of Wands, hey, FYI, I probably forgot to tell you that this is, you know, what's going on right now. I think, Leo, for the ones of you that are listening to this, you're probably one of the queens. But masculines, dude, and if you did that, that's not cool. That's not cool. So, show me the energy that Leo is going to use to overcome this obstacle. Oh, got the full in reverse again. So let's see what comes out with it. Full in reverse is not wanting to let go, not wanting a new beginning, not wanting or even if you are going into a new beginning where you are lacking trust, where you're lacking faith in that new beginning. Yeah, I think that's what it is that going into a new situation, whether by choice or being forced to, whatever the situation is, but not going into it without doubts, I guess. That you're going into it, but there's a lack of trust there, there's a lack of faith there, something is lacking in this new beginning. And that could be because there hasn't been time taken to heal here. And we talked about that earlier with the energy that came out. With the energy that came out in the oracles before the reading. It might also be a slow start, a slow new beginning, because that healing needs to take place, because that needs to happen first. That feels good. That feels right. That might be the case for a lot of you, that this full in reverse is a slow new beginning. It might not be lacking anything. It's just a slow start. So that's actually good if that's the case. I'm not getting anything else for it. Anything else for me for the energy Leo will use to overcome this obstacle? Two more. Nope, that's going to be it. So, you know, if that is the case, Leo, if, you know, you're being more enlightened to, and we just had the moon card fall out. There could still be secrets involved in this situation. There could also be a lot of emotion a lot of emotion in this situation, and also a lot of intuition that's being harnessed concerning all of this. Looking at it kind of now that we've got all the cards out, it looks like perhaps this masculine energy realized that he was blocking what he truly loved, that he wasn't being honest with himself about what or who he really loved, and that maybe he created, put these women into a third-party situation. Although I don't think that this Queen of Wands was very far into it. I think, she kind of stuck a toe in, looked around, and was like, something doesn't smell right. I'm going to step back. It's kind of the feeling that I get. I think that this masculine energy is trying to clean things up so that there can be a new beginning, but it's going to be a slow start. All right, let's get the potential outcome for this situation, please. Yeah, divine timing is definitely going to need to be a part of this. Patience. Also, this masculine energy really needs to realize that when you're in a committed relationship, you can't give energy, that type of relationship, romantic love energy, to anyone else. You can't. All of these readings so far that I've done, people, I'm just seeing it over and over and over and over again, these third-party relationships. And oftentimes people do that because they have codependency issues, that, okay, this relationship is coming to an end, so let me go ahead and get somebody else on deck real quick because I can't, I'm so toxic, I can't stand to be by myself. I have to, engage with some other toxic energy so I can have someone to blame when everything goes bad, instead of just working on healing themselves. So, I think for this masculine energy, or whoever this Page of Wands is that's coming clean about, there's a bad relationship here that needs to come to an end, and perhaps he started something new, and he can be she, just flip it around if you need to. So, flip it around if you need to, but just an understanding that he's done this, that he's, involved with this Queen of Wands where she could potentially be hurt. And, he was only looking out for himself and creating, some backup for himself, and that can hurt other people. When you hurt other people, now you've created karma for yourself, and round and round and round we go with all of that. Definitely an energy of needing healing. Needing to get out of, to recognize any ego issues that are involved here, and to move away from those because they are blocking the stability and peace that this person is looking for. What is the potential outcome, please? What is the potential outcome here, please? The Empress in reverse. Taurus and Libra energy. This Queen of Wands might also be this Empress energy. She's not happy. No, she's not happy. I'm going to go ahead and end the reading here. If you'd like to join me for further clarification on this reading, you can do so by clicking on the Vimeo link below for the extended reading. Please be sure, because I'll have the other Leo links below for the other reading, that you make sure that you're clicking on the extended reading and clicking on the one that you actually are interested in seeing. So I hope that this was enlightening, helpful. Yeah. Thank you for listening to your reading. I appreciate it. Bye, Leo.